Here, and welcome to another Midwestern Minecraft Mining Livestream. We are here on Mining Livestream number 21 of this series. The mining livestreams can now legally drink. If they, fortunately, this is alright. I could not resist. I could not resist making a bad pun there. You know, it was like saying that the stream could now drink. But we're not going to drink right now because, well, when you want to go operate in a mine, you want to make sure that you are, well, safe. And so by making sure that one is, well, safe, that's always a good thing. So yes, we are going to be doing some hopefully safe mining. At least that would be my goal, would to be hopefully do some safe minings and all that jazz. So, I have gotten the later. It's still essentially a development build. I have gotten the latest 32x resource faithful resource pack thing. I had to download it from CurseForge because I tried pulling up their website because I'm getting error issues, service unavailable, error code 503. There is, there's the link to the site. I know for the moment it's broke. Let me see here. Faithful Pack, CurseForge. There we go. Here's the CurseForge link. Boom. Figured I would make sure to point you guys in that direction. So as that stuff is stuff. We go ahead here and get world loaded. There we go. Alright, so I have gotten let's see here. I need to get supplies stocked up. I don't know why I didn't grab 2 stacks. And get on with the play. We can hold on to. I was like, it's like I'm forgetting to do. I know I forgot to do something. And I was like, here it is. Yes, it is. I decided, I haven't checked I haven't checked in a hot minute. Excuse me, where we were in terms of faithful. So that's why I said, let's go check to see if there might be something here on the thing. So. Hey, Informer, how you going? How's it going for you? Just starting up a little bit of a mining live stream. Get some mining stuff out of the way. Let's see. Chuck all that iron right there. That's good. Out. Where did I put this? There's my stuff. Stock up that. Oh, there, silly thing. Ah. That's building stuff can be hard in Minecraft. Let's see. cobblestone. I should be good on supplies. Let's go ahead here. Ah. Yeah, it says sometimes you just got to do it the old school method, do it the hard way. I know that a lot of people don't like, especially long-time folks, you know, they don't like mining quite so much. I've said many times, I find it therapeutic. I know that it's not easy for everyone to do mining, but I'd rather do it. Oops. Head back up here. Just want to see how high some of this stuff here goes. As I've said, I know I don't need the clay. I will never, ever want for clay again. Get rid of that this drip leaf here. That. Up on clay already. Jeez frickin' Louise. Nope. Fat twig the buttons tree. Bloody gravel. And there we go. There we go. Go ahead here right quick and whip out my clay shulker box. Oof. Yeah, that is a very infuriating thing for a build. Being off by one block. I have done that who knows how many times, and there are those times where I'm going, and it's just, excuse me, let me get a little drink here. And what's really annoying is, at least for me, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 is, yeah. That's the thing, is that it's that old saying, measure twice, cut once. Let's get this iron before it despawns. And there are some times where I just get so frickin' nitpicky about how I want my thing, whatever my build is, to be, and I get to the point and I realize, oh boy, I have done goofed. And I hate it, is when it's, really long, and, in some cases I've just had to leave it be, because it's, not, because it'd be more work to try to tear everything down, tear it apart, whatever, and rebuild it. Case in point is, for this world at least, is my, it's the main hall up top side. Hope that is on. Hello. Let's quickly come around here. Oh, hello. Any more iron? No. Rats. I was hoping for more iron. Yeah, that was one of the things, God, what was it, I'm trying to remember, what base was that? I think it was my 113 world that I had, I called it the dwarf base because it was, you know, I literally dug out this big giant hole and then built in a base into it. Oh, before I forget. Oh, and I just about fell down there. Come on. There we go. I don't want to go splat, quite honestly. Especially all the way down there. Creeper's gonna creep. Creeper's gonna creep. So you're wandering down there, Mr. Creeper. Yeah, I was just building up. You know, I literally had to figure. This is why I always have done things in a test world, or to at least help get an idea of some of the stuff I want to build. And that's why I started building up, a basic, plan of how big is, where am I going to put the walls, and for stuff, and how am I going to align stuff, to make so it looks nice and neat and not all just scrunched together. Don't want that. What was that? Oh, it's I saw I'm seeing the particle effects from the gravel there, and I was thinking, what in the heck is this madness? What in the heck was that? Is this a new mob that they secretly stuck into 121.8? Is that is this the Inklings? Is it a little bit like the premonition of potential baddies? Nope. It's just particle effects of gravel. Ooh, hello there. Let's break where is it? There it is. Block of raw copper down. Oh yeah, that was part of the stuff. Oh jeez. Even more clay. Oh well. Yang did what they did. But I just thought, I haven't built one of my, what's-its. That world had the, whoa, hello, and you are a spooge spawner. And it was like, what in the heck? It was some square room, I didn't dig it out. Oh, it's a spawn room. Gravel. Yeah, looks like whenever I came this way. Yeah. This is where I came. That's how I discovered it. I was like, it looks like I would have found it going through that way. And the answer, yes. That is, I was thinking, There was something. There's somewhere closer. I'm gonna have to go poking through my screenshots, and we need to get rid of this bloody flint. Go away, flint. Ah, off by 2 is even worse. Off by 2 is even worse. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That would just completely drive me up a wall. I've made that sort of mistake on this world, you know, being off by blocks, 1 or 2 blocks, or in this case 1 block for the main throne room, yeah, up at the main base, and yeah, it's yeah, that's and I was like, do I really want to have to go through and redo it's as large as the throne room as it is. I was like, do I really want to have to redo the whole darn thing? And I was like, as big as this is, not really. Oh, just a second. Sounds like what, cats? So, just outside my door. Just a second. Hello over there, white cat. Hi. Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing better. You probably had to go to the litter box, didn't you? And then go to your, excuse me, go to your bowls to get some food and water, didn't you? Didn't you, white cat? That would be my guess. Oh, another thing I did off cam between last episode and today is I went through and to the Nether and did the initial scouting out of stuff for our future Nether transport system for the mine, because of how long, you know, the mine shaft is getting, and it's just going to be far easier to do that. More iron. So what we're going to do for tomorrow, Monday's episode of Midwestern Minecraft, I've got several things. Really? That's all that iron? What a ripoff. Just 2. Well, I shouldn't be too pissed off. At least I got something. But still, only 2 spawned in that little bit right there. What a ripoff. So yes, we'll be able to, let's go ahead and do some putting away of loot stuff. Hopefully do that, because I also want to put some of the cobble I got. Oh, not there, tree. Don't be a dum-dum. I'm not sure if we're necessarily going to do some work on the... We'll probably do some work on the smelter. Because we still got some work to do on the kitchen. I've gotten some more work done on that. You know, we got to fit it out with all the stuff it needs. Need to do work on the smelter. Need to do work on the item sorter. Oh, and we also need... Take a half stack of dirt there. Also need to do some work there on the item sorter too, and all that sort of jazz. Also want to build up the library too. Iron! Iron! You see, that's why, you know, thinking about, you know, stuff for streaming and all that, content creation. That's why I finally hit up on the idea of why not just do some mining live streams when we're busy doing Titan Quest stuff. I mean, yeah. Oh, hello, redstone. Speak of the devils for stuff we need. Hello. We'll probably do some work on the smelter. We'll see what I can do about making sure. After stream, I'll probably squeeze in another couple side galleries, you know, doing what we're doing right here after stream. But I also want to make sure I get to bed so I can get some rest. That's why we didn't do Kaiserpunk today, because inadvertently for Grand Strategy Sundays, the reason I didn't get that is because I inadvertently set the wrong alarm. Oh, I was going through my alarms and all that, and I was like, I saw 15. You know, 15 after the hour. I hit that. And when the alarm, I woke up for a little while, about 10 a.m. this morning, and it was 9 a.m., about 9 a.m. I went to bed about, what was it about? Lapis. Went to bed, it was about 4 a.m. this morning. Or 5 a.m. Something like that. 4 or 5 a.m. I was like, that should be enough time to be able to help me get an amount of a little bit of extra sleep and regular quotation marks sleep to be able to help make sure that I can get up for Grand Strategy Sundays. So I said I was just kind of tired and just 15. There we go. There's one of the ones that ends in 15. Turns out it was not the right one, because I woke up and it was 4:15 in the afternoon, 16:15 military time, and I was like, "Oh, tree! You set the wrong alarm. You were too groggy when you're kind of groggy when you're setting, and you selected the wrong freaking alarm." Coal and a cave system. My desire to get some dirt inadvertently has led to a cave system. safety torches there. Excuse me, but it felt good. Iron, iron, iron. Oops. Go ahead here and I've been through here. There's obviously an old mine, abandoned mine shaft. I really want to go past here. Let's just take a little bit of a gander here, shall we? Zambit. No, that's not stone. That's granite. There's some iron. I've been over there. I'm not going to worry about going down there. Here you Zambit. I see you do. Go away, sir! No brain eating in here tonight. Turn back here. Oops. Wrong pick. Don't really want to worry about going up there. That's one of the reasons why I tend to mine off cam, is because I can just get. Ooh, hello there, iron. I see more iron. I can just get so freaking engrossed doing stuff that I forget that stuff can happen, like a bot. Like a freaking bot. Hello there, bot. Oh, hello. Just gotta love them bots. Not! So if you have time to, program a bot, you have time to do something more productive with your life. Ow. It's down here that we came from. Ow. Yeah. Don't want to go down there. Oh, jeez. On! That jeez Louise is now, thank goodness. Need all the on I can lay my bloody paws on. Lover. Yeah. Let's go ahead and head back before I get too lost down here. Come on. Oh! Ah. Yes, I remember. I know where I am. I want to turn this lava lake. Yeah, there's some, as you see, I know I've been down here. I want to turn this lava lake into our next thingamabob for the thing. The mine shaft. There we go. Lava down there. I'm not going to worry about going all the way down there. Tree no Bernie. Tree no bunny. Iron. See. Let's go ahead and stow away. Excuse me. Stuff here and the stuff and da da da. You know, I just found myself thinking about the Meg Myers cover of Running Up That Hill. And you know, I've you know, a little bit of a thought here. Let's see. Oh. And you know, oh, hello. The Minecraft equivalent would be running through that mine, or something akin to that. Yep. Getting myself all scrolled here. Let's go this way. I hear you there, Skelly. Please stay the heck away. I am in no mood for you to try and poke me. Please do not poke me. Yeah, I'd be thinking that the Minecraft equivalent of Meg Myers, she would you know, she would be, you know, digging through that mine or something like that. Got some coal there. Want coal? Someone's walking around. Oh. Just go ahead and lock that off. Will do. Do one of my standard sort of self-block off thingies. Say, don't go that way, tree. You've already been that way. Skelly right there. It's a diamond. Hello, Skelly. Go away, Zambit. Jerk. See you there, Scooter. Tried to get the upper hand on me, but you're too big. Creeper! When the going gets tough, the tough decide, it's time to run away. Shark! No, not really inclined to get lost down there, quite honestly. Down over there where we just were. Another area of only partly. Oh, hello. Tuft. I'm thinking we'll make this our turnaround point. So it's just, in some ways, you know, it's just getting so redonkulous how big of a thing we're having to go through here. Creepers! Back! Boom boom boy! Back! Two boom boom boys! Pity you couldn't have taken your brother with you there, son. Turn around, tree. Turn around. That's got to be, I think that's got to be my new nickname for creepers is Boom Boom Boys. Like I call how Zambits, zombie Zambits, and I'm gonna take those pans to be smelted down in the smelter. Let's start heading back before I get myself too much more lost or deeper into this cavern system. The way up, back. So I know that my system here is not completely foolproof. It's reasonably foolproof. pause here for a sec, guys, and stretch. I know, with the mining and all that, it's got me thinking back to a trip I did last year to Colorado with the trip to the Georgetown Loop. There we go. I was having a momentary the moment. And let's go ahead here and move some stuff here so I can stow away loot. Yeah, it was first time to my immediate recollection of ever being in an historic mine. Okay, let's see here. It's a good thing I didn't get all that copper. That's for sure. To be there. See a tree. It was just so interesting to, see, what actual historic mining was like. Oh, dum-dum. Dum-dum. It was one of the neat little things is, I remember when, we first went into the mine. This is the Fraser mine at, the Georgetown Loop, and, it was about 30 yards or so, about 100 feet, about 30 yards, 30 meters. And our tour guide, we were required to, I had to, it was a little hard, but I was able to cram my canopy into a, they fortunately I made sure to tell them that, hey, you're going to have a walking, talking, sentient tree come in. Could you get find a canopy-sized hard hat? And they were fortunately able to scrounge one up. And they said, just be aware, Osage, you're going to be in tight, being a tree, you're going to be in very tight spaces. I was like, I'm used to being in tight spaces, so fortunately I was able to get cram my canopy and all the limbs and the leaves and all that to the thing. And so it was the times where I was like, oh my god, going through here is so tough, but it's worth the experience. But anyway, they had this one spot. It was, I remember, to the lower right. There was this little bit of silver can rust. And there was this little bit of a spot where some silver was rusting out of the mountain because, as water percolates through the mountain, because, being at altitude, it takes, the water and it is able to absorb some of the silver, and it would, rust out that way. The miners knew that they were onto something when they could see that little bit of rust and silver. And so they finally, I think it was like 3 or 4 seams at least. You know, vertical, slightly vertical. You know, be up. You know, it'd be like up 3, then over 1, up 3, over 1. It was this huge near vertical face of silver that they had to dig out several times. And that was just so bloody interesting. Coal. You know, makes me wonder what would happen if, hypothetically, if silver were to be added, because, you know, we obviously have gold. What would happen in Minecraft? What would we do for silver? What would we use silver for besides, you know, it'd be another bling block. We already have a number of bling blocks. You know, we got lapis, emerald, gold, diamond. Say if they ever added like the equivalent of a werewolf mob, that would be impetus to employ silver. Or was that, wait, or was that vampires? It's either werewolves or vampires. I'm trying to remember the mythos there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I know it's one of those 2 mythical creatures that you need to use to repel silver with. I think it's werewolves. Mine shaft. Okay, system notification there. Hello, we've made it to the first crosscut. Ah! Forgot about that. Just quickly seeing how if I had to do another one there, so I figured with the bloody gravel coming down on us, that we would need a torch right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9er. Oh, that's right. Duh. Alright, it's the adjoining side gallery. Came across this little dealio right here, and I was like, duh. messages and oddballs at times. Excuse me, but it felt good. Yeah. Thinking that when we reach the next crosscut, I for one need to go stretch my roots and visit the little trees room. So we'll go ahead and take a short break. That way I can go get that stuff seen to. Pretty darn close to the next crosscut. Oh. For the reason I thought it was up a block. But that boo-boo turned out to lead us to redstone. Zambit. Wasn't sure how close we were to the next crosscut. And boom, here we are. Okie dokie. We got some of that dirt. Sounds like some Zambits are having some fun there. Alright, so let's cover little noms and retrieve that torch, anti-dum-dum. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead here. I'm gonna take a short little break. We might do a second one in about an hour or so. But yeah, let's see if everybody go on stage. Let's rush them. I'll see y'all here in a bit. Okay, guys, tree is back. Sorry it took me a few extra minutes there. Let's go ahead here, and while I am thinking about it, because this popped into my canopy, well, just after I went on break, I'll give you guys the link again to the Georgetown Loop. So, we're going to go ahead. I do have a little bit of a tree snack here, so I'm going to go ahead and, for the moment at least, mute myself so that you guys don't have to worry about hearing me numb myself and ears and all that. So, vocally, BRB. Not quite done with my tree snack, but you can see, guys, while I'm here, I'll show you guys some of the work that we need to get done. We'll have to bring in a redstone circuit here, probably have it come down, come down, and set up a block to where, you know, we have a block right here that'll power, you know, it'll, here. Let's get this fixed. But we need to essentially start putting in some circuitry, redstone control circuitry. So yeah, we also got some of the clay moved around here into the silos, so yeah. Vocally, got to finish off my tree tech, so vocally BRB again. All right. Just happened to finish just in time here now, my tree snacks, so let's see here. Make sure we are up to date with all our stuff. And we will start our next thing. Not sure if we'll go 3 hours or not. Hopefully, the little foray we had into the cave system there, excuse me, will not be of too bad of a thing. We could get the one that'll be right next door eventually, done tonight as well. That'd be swell. Hopefully get some more irons. So yeah, that would be nice. Part of me really does wish that I had that, that magical multi-million dollars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, multi-million dollars, so I could not have to worry about working and do some more content creation. Have more time for content creation. It's just work is being honestly, it's being ridiculous right now, and I wish it didn't have to be. A lot of my coworkers agree is that it's beyond ridiculous, some of them said. It's just making all of our lives that much harder, you know? The fun thing, that's like I said, the fun thing when I for last year's trip to Colorado, when once I had to do that emergency bill thing and crunch the numbers, even if I scrimped and saved to beat the band to try and go to Durango, I could, but it would really be stretching it. Well, that's why, of course, I made that executive decision to not go. And that ultimately, led to some money being saved. And I was able to, with a sufficient cushion, was able to make the trip. Of course, this year's trip was a little more stretched, but again, I had made sure to save some money. That kind of makes me wonder, emeralds are the currency in Minecraft. That makes me think, we're in a mountain right here. Hello again. How exactly, would that, if anybody found and, if this were more real life like, at least, is that, we were block people in a block world. Would emeralds still count in real Minecraft world as they do in the actual game? It's one of those interesting little things to think about, Like I said, oh, look at that. Look at them creepers. They got a spider right on them. Those true creepers right there. They were. Even a skelly. All the skelly and the two creepers were consorting, and now the skelly was going to talk to the spooter. Yeah. That somebody down there in gold armor down there. Look at all them baddies down there. Let's see, we got two skelly, two zambits. They're trying to bite. They're trying from down there, trying to bite me. Got two skellies, three creepers. Somewhere down there, there's a spider. You just wanna come have look at those zambits down there. Look at them. They see me. Yeah, they're what? Like 40 blocks down there, like tree. Even the regular, the unclad Zambit right there, he's got a chainmail armor on. You guys just stay in Darklandia down there. I'm up here. I gotta do this. Hey, zombies! It's over, zombies! I have the high ground! I couldn't resist. No, it's over, Anakin! I have the high ground. Excuse me. It's over, zombies. I have the high ground. It's one of those typical deals with military stratagem is more often than not. Oh, hello. Do not attack the high ground. It's just like Pike's charge in the U.S. Civil War is that in the Battle of Gettysburg, I forget his regiment, but the Confederates were massacred in that charge. And so, it's no wonder that they lost in the battle. Ultimately, they lost the Battle of Gettysburg. That's had the CRRM not announced the visit of 315, DNRGW 315, I would have loved to have been able to go out to Gettysburg as part of my trip out east next year, but they announced that, hey, we're bringing in a visiting locomotive. It's one of these. Oh, that might be an idea. We might do that tomorrow instead. Start a spooter farm. Have to go double check. Have to go double check the. Like I said, I've got. It's one of the things I've always done is. I think after stream, I will go because I've got. I don't have all my screen because, of course, changes in system and all that. Excuse me, but it felt good. Excuse me again, but it still felt good. I need to go through my 119 world screenshots and get an idea of. So I really could use. Now, yes, we do have the sheet. We do have the sheet. Well, that's not quite as autonomous as a sugar cane. That is not quite as autonomous as a spooter farm. It's not quite as autonomous as a spooter farm. Especially with the way, mob farms usually work is, it's, or an AFK farm in general. As you're just able to set up whatever your system's going to be and have a system do its thing. In that case, bring up for a string farm, bring up a bunch of set up standard sort of well under the spawner collection well, have it funnel down to alternating cacti with hoppers underneath, have them suck up the string and all that. That's just one of those nice little things that, AFK, for, if I need to, go run out, if it's one of my off days or if I get up early enough or have to go back out after getting home to do something. All that jazz. Just be able to, okay, let's go start farm whatever. Have it start running. And that's part of the reason why, work has, this world has been taking so long. It's been 3 years now. That But we've been working this world. I honestly wish it wasn't... Ah! Oh, I didn't see that coming. Go away, bloody flint. Part of the reason why I wish I could be, you know, somehow manage to win the lottery, but, you know, far more likely to have a heavy freight night at work and not win the lottery. I remember seeing... This was some time ago. I was over at a friend's house, and they had cable. We didn't grow up with. I mean, technically, Tree parents. They may have considered at one point cable, but I'm not sure if they actually did. But I was over at a friend's house. This was... When was this? Trying to fully remember here. This was something... I think this was about the time that I graduated from high school. Proximal. I don't remember... I don't fully remember if it was... I think it was not long after high school. I think it might have been like the following fall or autumn. For whatever reason, I was over at a friend's house, and, you know, I think it was, you know, one of those days where, you know, we were just, you know, doing a little bit of catch-up stuff, and, might have been actually the year before high school graduation. It was proximal to high school graduation. Proximal. Within a year before or after. Yeah, I definitely think it was the year. It was definitely the fall after graduation. Went over to a friend's house. They had cable. And it was, you know, an off day from IRL stuff, and, you know, just, you know, being, you know, as much as, you know, I like staying at home and not being social, it was one of those moments of, you know, this friend of mine had reached out to me and said, you know, hey, you have a day we could agree upon, and where we could catch up and all that. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went over, and we sat down in their living room, and we just we started channel surfing. We weren't quite sure. We were just, you know, figuring out, let's just see something to watch. And came across something on the History Channel. So we were channel surfing, and we were talking about... I don't remember the name of the program off the top of my canopy, but there was talking about folks in Vegas, you know, trying to, you know, they knowing that the system is rigged and all that, and they were trying to, you know, use the system, essentially try to one up the system, you know. Tried to use their knowledge of the system to how to, you know, gain a strategic advantage. And, you know, at least, if not strike it rich, at least, excuse me, at least if not strike it rich, at least get at least some money, slant break even. And friend was the one with the road, and it was like, what's? And we were both, wait, what's this about Vegas and gambling? And of course, me being a much younger tree at the time, it was like, and so we weren't sure what we wanted to watch, and so we both knew about the strip and all that, and so we just started watching, and things went from there. We just watched how they were doing this, and friend's mom was a former gambler herself, and so she had been at work that day as she worked a retail job, and so we had watched several episodes of whatever this series was, and she got home from her retail job, and she knew I was coming over, and so she knew I'd be there, and she said, and she, we knew each other, because of friendships and all that, and she had obviously told my friend, to be careful when it comes to gambling and all that, because of her own experiences and all. And she, when she said, she got home and she asked, what you guys watching? We're watching this thing about this thing on the History Channel about this group of guys trying to outwit the casinos in Vegas. And she said, well, be careful, it's like, she said, I don't need to tell my kid about this tree, but I'll tell you, it's like gambling is, it is always in the house's favorite tree. I've already told your friend, my kid, about this, about all this, and how I used to be a gambler, and she went into a little bit of the details about it. I was like, yeah, it's, I'd seen this sort of thing happen, and, they'd mentioned this in the program as part of, the whole dealio, and I was like, yeah, it's like, I knew a few things about Vegas, casinos and all that, being one of the big draws. And I said to her, ma'am, I have seen some of the stuff I've seen on this program. It's like, oh my God. It's like, why do people think they always want to win? Think they're going to win, And it's like, that was my problem. I thought I would win all the time. But it didn't end up for me like that. And I, almost ended up, being in some dark places. And so, you're not old enough yet to do any gambling. So please, be careful. If when you become of age, if you want to gamble, that's your choice. But in this case, take it from someone who has been a gambler. Avoid it as best you can. It's your life, but avoid it as best you can. And I said, I will try to heed your advice, ma'am. And she, there was a certain amount of truth in what she said. Because I will admit, I've done some gambling. Oops, ouch, that hurt. And I've now seen what she means. I now see what she means. Or as a result of some of my... Ooh, hello there, Redstone. I have seen what she means. It is very easily a very expensive addiction. It is easily a very expensive addiction. So I see what she means. that's kind of why I have, you know, the times that I've done some gambling. You know, I've had to, there have been times where I have, you know, those words, even though they weren't the words of my mother specifically, you know, it's somebody else's mom. I have, you know, they still have had a certain amount of resonance, if you will. And And I see why, you know, there are those that thinking, you know, it's like one more roll of the dice. One more roll. Why it can be such a problem. I mean, let's face it, there are some people that do gamble because, well, life sucks. Honestly, I wish I could win the lottery. Let's see. Should be here somewhere. There we go. There we go. Yeah, life, I will admit, life does suck. Oops. Boop. And boop, 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 boop. Oh, for me, it's part of the reason why I have found, you know, that, you know, for me, honestly, streaming has never been about making money, quite honestly. You know, I've talked about the video by Cirrus Epics about you know, the about his stuff, his experiences in gaming and all that. You know, I'm quote unquote lucky in the fact that, you know, I don't have to worry quite so much about familial responsibilities, and, you know, I've admitted, you know, talked about it. I don't think it's likely I'll ever have kids. The way things have been in my life and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's likely I'll ever have kids. It's just that things have not been that way for me. Excuse me. I have enough trouble trying to keep myself in order as it is. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Said, I know that Daedalus 822 has, at least, I know that his relationship with Venomous Wench, she has some kids from a prior relationship, and he, being, you know, wanting to be, you know, a good example, as well as help take care of her kids in their relationship. I haven't seen him post anything in a while. Of course, I haven't checked. Presumably, he went and got himself a real job. And, you know, he needs, you know, and I don't know the full details of their relationship. If that's personal, that's their stuff. not going to pry. But that is, on his part, the smart move. If they are able to, if Data and Venom are able to team up, as it were, to provide for her kids in their relation, and the two of them being in a relationship, provide for Venom's kids. That's the smart thing. It's the real smart thing to do. Ever somehow found myself in that sort of situation where I had to go take care of redstone. Where I had some some young trees that I had to go take care of. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I ever had myself in that sort of situation, I would, 2, 3, 4, 5, do that. Put my nose to the grindstone, provide for the kids. Honestly, I don't think I would be able to. Looking at where I am in my life, the way things have been is like, I don't think I could handle that amount of responsibility. Probably a good thing that I have been single all this time. That was one of the fun things is, oh, hello, we are at the first crosscut. Get out of the way. There we go. It was one of the interesting things is that, when tree parents talk to me and Tree Bro, it's the birds and the bees, as the conversation is often called. And, so yeah, it's oh, hello. Obviously I missed this stuff. If I ever found myself a lady tree to be with, I would like it if she were a gamer. I just found myself thinking about Data and Venom in one of their streams that I popped into. Venom read out my comment about I'd have to go dig up the stream. But I said, for those of you who know about Data, his love of coffee has a certain amount of notoriety. And so I still remember the message I sent. I said that when I like to talk about Data to friends, I said, when I like to talk about Data to friends, I like to say that if you were to get a blood draw from him, you wouldn't get blood, you'd get coffee. And Data went and said, yeah, that sounds about right. With the amount of Dr. Pepper that I tend to drink, I'm surprised I don't have Dr. Pepper flowing in my vascular system. Of course, I know that that's a little bit of a, it was deliberately meant to be a little bit of a sarcastic joke, and, his blood actually wouldn't be coffee, Those, there are times where Data would be doing coffee this, coffee that. Enough for 9 whole blocks of iron, right? Excuse me there. Or, no, 5 blocks. 5 blocks. Brain went. Said I had double the amount, or almost double the amount. I wish I had a total of 9 blocks of iron, equivalent in my inventory right now. Babies and bits, babies and bits, please stay the heck away. I'll stop your moaning and groaning, baby Zambit. Oh, it sounds like Daddy's home too. Oh, will you guys please stop your moaning and groaning? It's annoying. More irons. Guys, please stop your moaning and groaning. Be much appreciated. Oh wait, I'm moving away. Why should I be complaining? Let's go ahead here. Let's make a deposit to the system. So we do, we have over 9 blocks of equivalent of iron. Hooray! Sorry. Really need to stretch right there. that's part of the reason why, you've heard me talk about, doing investing stuff and all that. Again, usual disclosure, I am not a financial expert. Please always make sure you do your research. Consult with an actual financial professional or professionals. When I thought for a moment, I was, please, if you are in doubt, please talk to an actual financial professional. That's one of the things I've said, read, is that if you're ever to win the lottery, let me get a drink here. If you're ever to win a significant amount of money from whatever lottery you could play, if you live in an area that has a lottery, always get yourself I think it's from what I can recall off the top of my canopy, at minimum, is get yourself an attorney and an accountant. Let's see. Let's go ahead here. Let's get this gold that's here. Get yourself at minimum an accountant and an attorney, and set up things to where, essentially are able to have them on retainer for future need. I think we'll do a string farm. I don't anticipate really. I would rather build the darn thing. Iron. I'll just happen to look up that direction and see iron. That would be, that's usually, before you claim your winning ticket is, one of the things I remember. I actually went and reread some of that stuff recently because I was trying to remember. It was like some of the details about winning the lottery, because I'm trying to not gamble myself. It's like I've been in this. Like I said, my friend's mom. She's been through. Hello. And there's some rough patches in terms of having to deal with gambling stuff. But yeah, it's like the two things I can definitely for sure remember are get yourself an attorney or attorneys and an accountant. One of the things that I also remember is, don't change your lifestyle all of a sudden. You might suddenly have, and we're going to do an exaggerated number here, $500 million in your bank account, but you're not going to have the experience dealing with $500 million. I would have to. It would be some work to do to deal with winning the lottery and all that. But I would, as much as I'd want to quit my job, first thing as soon as I started getting the money and all that, that would be not so smart an idea. That would be not so smart an idea. Let's see here. quickly set back to peaceful. There. Play goes there. You guys go there. You guys go here. You need one stack of torches. Excuse me, but it felt good. Me, but it felt good. I mean, quite honestly, I honestly, being at least somewhat financially competent, I know that in the grand scheme of things, I only know a tiny little bit of financial stuff, but I would definitely keep my job for a while, as much as I want to, not have to. The reason being, let's see, what was that? Going to put that there just in case. The reason being that I would still keep myself on the job for a little bit would be to give me some time to get my affairs in order. And as I said, as much as I would want to quit my job right away, I think most anybody who has had an IRL job has been there. Wanted to quit their job and all. I would just, that would give me what I like to think about it in this hypothetical scenario where I won the lottery. And let's not say I got $500 million. Let's just say I got, after taxes, I had $100 million. My plan would be essentially to get everything out of that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Like I said, my plan would be to lean into my job, to not necessarily for the money, but to serve as for a while at least, a grounding stone, if you will. That way, it's basically what I would do would be to take the money, take the winnings, $100 million in this case, after taxes and all that. Because it's law here in the U.S. that banks, like the bank I use, the Bank of Treelandia, for example, if that was its name, that would be, the Bank of Treelandia. Were that its name. They are required by federal law here in the States to report certain types of transactions to the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Because, for example, I've said I used two different banks. And, Bank of Treelandia is the placeholder for my primary bank. Okay? It's a placeholder name. And with that account, I would be insured up to $250,000 USD. Likewise, the second bank, my accounts also, and that's across all accounts. So, if I have across both banks, if I were to have each a security, a savings account. I don't know why I was saying security account. Savings account and checking account. And for the second bank, a savings account and a checking account. For each bank, those accounts collectively could be insured up for 250,000 USD. So technically, because it's across two banks, I would be insured up to $500,000. But of course, in this hypothetical scenario, I have more than that. But yes, the inevitable BUTT, I would have many, many, many times that amount of money. Which is why I would go forth and invest. Of course, as I've said, investment has its own risks. It has its own stuff. And that's part of the reason why you guys have always heard me say, do your research, look into stuff. And so, I would at least take, at least listen to the accountants that, I would eventually get, hire as my personal accountant. And, I would try to listen to, and part of, in conversation with whoever they would be in this hypothetical scenario, say, I have a plan. It would be to take as much money as as much of this money as I can and invest it. And I would at least try to listen to whatever advice they would have to say. But of course, that is part of an accountant's job when they get hired by somebody, is that, it's ultimately, my decisions that, if I screw myself out of money, that's my fault. Which is why I would seek to invest for dividends. Like I said, I am not a financial expert. Do your research. If you feel that you need to get a professional's advice, get a professional's advice. Now, that I might say, hey, I have such and such ideas for what I want to do. Here's sort of the stuff I want to do. And, I would ask, say, here's this, here's that, blah, blah, blah. And go from there. But basically, I would try to invest a whole bunch of that money so as that, I am not tempted to spend left, right, and center. I need to go stretch again. Let's go ahead and take another short break, guys. Let's everybody stand up and stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink, use the restroom. I'll see y'all here in a few minutes. Okay, guys, Tree is back, and was checking on White Cat just to see how it was doing, and he is happy kitty, so it is time for some White Cat attention. It was a little soft, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that little bit of White Cat attention. Yeah, you're an old man right now. You're an old man, White Cat. You are many moons old. You're older in cat years than I am in tree years. So, let's go ahead here. I'm going to set you down here, White Cat. You go. There you go. Ah. Smell a twig? No? But you want scritchy? Yes, you do. All right. Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and get back into stuff here. So yeah, it's for the money stuff under this hypothetical situation. I would probably take about 80% of that money, 80 million, carefully invested as best I could. You know, I would say, what would you invest in, accountant? And or at least to get an idea of what their advice would be, I know that I want to, in my program, the way I got things where I want to head, I want to invest in exchange-traded funds and mutual funds. Basically, collections of securities that they vary on their particulars, but basically make some money on doing that without having to do a whole bunch of research on particular securities, because I've honestly gotten myself to the point to where it's like, so much research, so much research. So it's time I'd rather be doing my passion stuff with gaming and streaming. Well, that's why I want to get into ET. Oh, hello. I knew this was coming. Yes, that's why I would do ETFs and exchange traded funds, ETFs and mutual funds. There we go. Come on. That way I wouldn't have to worry so much about continuously having to do research. And I would try to follow some of the advice of Warren Buffett, aka the Oracle of Omaha. He's of course the founder, or I know that he's like the majority shareholder of Berkshire Hathaway. As I recall, he also founded it. I've seen some people, criticize Buffett for not having Berkshire do dividends for his company and all that. Oh, hello. And I could see, I could see both sides of the equation. Having both capital appreciation, i.e., an increasing share price, as well as dividend. Me personally, I'm more inclined to dividends, which is why I would seek to get dividend-paying ETFs and mutual funds. That way, I would have the money, that these ETFs and mutual funds would pay into my pay for my expenses. I would try to keep that about 80%. And the remaining 20-ish% I would try to keep, if possible, in like a high-interest money market account, or a high-interest money market account, high-interest savings account, high-interest checking account. Basically make money off keeping money in the account. That's why at times in my stuff I have been able to, once the interest is accrued to my account, I'm like, yes, it's time to do something with this interest. Pay a bill, or do some more investing. Iron is the correct pick for that tree. I was talking to my movie buff coworker at work the other day. He went to see the new Fantastic Four movie, and Tree Dad himself has been a little bit skeptical, but movie buff coworker said it was actually, for some of the retro stuff, it's actually pretty interesting. Found that it was he liked some of the retro lines in the movie. I'm like, okay. I need to remember to go tell Tree Dad that at some point, pretty darn soon. That's part of the ooh, hello. Part of the reason I've been drawn to Kaiserpunk is not just merely that it was the grand strategy genre of games, but some of the art, sort of the theme of Art Deco of the 1920s, and it's some of this, like I said, I just wish, I hadn't set my alarm for the wrong time earlier yesterday. Now that it's Monday. But it is what it is. We need torches. Oops. Excuse me. Oh, good. Oh. Forgot about that little die right there. Oopsie poopsies. So. Like I said, I've been thinking about, I know it's been far more sporadic than I'd like to play Grand Strategy Sundays. Like I said, work has just been, it's been more blah than it has been since about, like February. Let's go a little bit farther here, and I need to go get that back and get that coal. Oops. Work has been far more blah. Come on, stay on the one than it should be by this time of year. And a lot of my coworkers are in complete agreement. It's like, why does things have to be sucking at a time that it doesn't have to suck? This way a little bit. About done reading Sharon Green's The Blending Enthroned. I'm currently on the third novel of the series, Destiny. And trying to decide what I want to read next. I've mentioned that I want to reread the Dune, and of course the original series by at least the original series by Frank Herbert. And but at the same time, I kind of want to reread some of the other books in my ebook library. So I'm gonna have to pull out my tablet and say, okay, what do I want to read? Because, of course, as I mentioned, want to get a system rebuilt. Because, again, my shooting myself in my roots sort of situation. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, I also want to reread Lord of the Rings. I remember, getting a book after the movies came out many moons ago, and, one of the things that, Tree Parents said, some of this stuff you might prove to be, it's a fantastic thing. It's a fantasy genre, but some of this stuff you might find scary. know, we haven't seen the films yet ourselves, but some of the stuff might prove to be scary. And, you know, it's like some of that stuff, you know, at least for the younger tree, did find that a little off-putting, but, you know, as, you know, growing up and all that, learning about stuff and reading the novel and all that, it's an interesting thing. An interesting thing. You know, part of me has always wondered, what if Peter Jackson had tried to... Oh, hello. Is this... Oh, hello. Cave system. Hooray. Cave system I've already been through part of. Let's go ahead here and explore these little bits that I haven't been through. Iron. Come to daddy. Yeah, I was actually seeing the movies inspired me many years ago when I was, of course, much younger to go watch, to go read the books. Huh. Apparently I didn't know that this cave system, wherever it is, down here where I left off, was near the end. So yeah, it's you know, I want to reread Lord of the Rings and all that. You know, as I've talked about Dan Simmons' series, The Hyperion Cantos. You know, I went and saw that, you know, that series had won several major literary awards over the years of its publication, and I was like, well, if it's won several of the, if it's won, you know, like the, let's see, I'm trying to remember all the awards here. It's the Nebula. God, what are the three big awards? I know it's Nebula is one of them. Brain fart. Ah! Stupid. Ah. Get off. Stupid cord. Hate when that happens. Okay. Hugo. That was a Nebula and the Hugo are the ones I was trying to remember. The Nebula, but let's see. Where is it? There we go. See, here is the link to the Hugo. And then here is the link to the Nebula, both, of course, the Wikipedia articles. To even be nominated, those are undoubtedly two of the most prestigious literary awards for the sci-fi fantasy genres. Sci-fi and fantasy genres. And to even be nominated for at least one of those means you have done a very darn good thing doing your writing. And Dan Simmons, I think it was for the first novel. Let me see here. Hyperion, Dan Simmons. Yeah, it's it won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1980. It was presumably for the 1990 awards. And when I saw that, and this was about 10 years ago now, back when I was working the grocery store job, when I saw that, that the first novel, and of course there are several of the successor novels, of course, won their own awards. When I saw that, Hyperion had won the Hugo, I was like, oh my goodness, this novel is, it's like, I am not aware, fully aware of all the literary awards across all of the languages that there are in the world, Arabic, English, French, Chinese, Mandarin, and Cantonese, the Englishes and the languages in India, Arabic, etc., etc., etc. There are multiple literary language awards, but at least in English, Hugo and the Nebula are definitely the two biggies. And the fact that the first novel and the rest of this won a Hugo, and the rest of the series has won nominations and some awards, as well as winning some of those awards. It's like, oh my god, this series has got to be worth reading. And so, I bought it. I bought all 4 books. Hyperion, Fall of Hyperion, Endymion, The Rise of Endymion. Bought all 4. Plus the short story thing. Tale... World's Enough and whatever it is. I'm blanking out. Maybe I'll read that next. Maybe I'll reread Hyperion. But I just bought it all on a whim. And I have enjoyed that series. I have totally enjoyed that series. Just a sec, guys. I quickly need to go use the little trees room. I will BRB. Sorry about that, guys, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. So yes, yeah, I just bought the Hyperion Countess on a whim, and I'm just glad I did. And of course, there is the dual nature of the description of the Hyperion Cantos. There is the Hyperion Cantos, the Simmons work, the actual, the author himself, as well as the Hyperion Cantos as written by in-universe character Martin Salinas. He's essentially described as an old man with an attitude and very foul-mouthed. Essentially described as, having, he's literally cursing, like, it seems like every other word. And, it's been totally worth reading, in my opinion. Totally worth reading. And like I said, in this case, buying... Oh, hello there, White Cat. Just a second. He wants out. White Cat wants out. Sorry about that, but White Cat, of course, wanted to be let out. So yeah, it's I love that sort of duality of Hyperion Cantos referring from our context, the reader's context, as both the series by Dan Simmons as well as the in-universe series by Martin Salinas as the Hyperion Cantos. That duality of the one name referring to multiple literary works. And it's one of my things that you can appreciate is how at the time the series was written, slowly being worked through in the 90s. It was published from 1989 to 96, I think it was. And it was 89 was when Hyperion was released. I think it was 95 or 96 when Rise of Endymion was released. Bloody gravel. Yeah, that was it's something purchased on a whim. That I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. And totally worth the read. And like I said, I still remember being in school and all that when I'd heard about Dune, and I decided that I did some research on it and found it was a classic of sci-fi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26. And learning that it was a classic of sci-fi, and having seen the recent movies has been more of the impetus to at least read the original Frank Herbert's novels, or in the case of the first Dune book, read that one again. I've also been thinking about rereading The Age of Fire by E.E. Knight. That is another one of the book series that I bought the first novel many moons ago, and I've since transitioned over to ebook. Oh, hello. Hello. And that's what I'm thinking about. I know that I'm reading fantasy right now with the Blending series. But I'm thinking about doing the Age of Fire again. Second, I'm going to get you guys the links to both the Blending and the Age of Fire. And apparently, Mr. Knight has written a sequel series to that to the Age of Fire. Hate when I do that. Dum dum. Dum dum. Let's go ahead and get this redone. It's like I didn't realize this till I think it was like about over a year ago now, something like that. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. There we go. There is the link to the Wikipedia article to the Blending. Then there's the link to the Age of Fire. It was very much a similar sort of situation to Temeraire. For the Age of Fire. For the Age of Fire. I don't know. I was saying the blending there. We're trying to confuse the two. Tree Dad had the Blending books already, and he has graciously permitted me to hold on to them. So, that like I said, he loves reading books too, so he and Tremont both. But, it was a similar sort of situation to the Temeraire series, where, it was, in this case, it was more of me running errands, not just barely with Tremont. But it was me, myself, running some errands. And where the heck are we again? Okay. Should be here somewhere. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Was wanting to make sure I knew where I was. Only in this case, I was running some errands, and one of those things was for Tree Family at the time. Let's see, when was that initially published? Excuse me, but I felt good. Trying to remember here. Hey, when I click like that. It was December 2005, and it was some years later that I picked it up, or at least became aware of it. The Age of Fire and Dragon Champion. Dragon Champion is the first novel in the Age of Fire series. So, I went ahead and, like I said, I was running some errands, and I just happened to I was in between errands, and I just happened to be somewhat close to the Barnes and Noble here in Treelandia, and so I texted Tree Parents, and this was one of my days off work and all that at the time. And I said, hey, I'll be a little bit longer than anticipated running some of these errands. I'm stopping in at Barnes and Noble, and because it's on the way to the next, because they kind of knew it was on the way to the next errand anyway, and so Tree Mom, being the more readily available of the two at the time, replied first. Tree Dad did later, of course. And said, okay, thanks for letting us know. Don't remember, don't get too distracted. You still have stuff to do. I was like, yeah, I know. And so I went in, found the book, and picked it up, and was like, ooh, this looks interesting. And started reading. I was able to, yeah, I was like, is this what I think it is? And it is. And so by the time, I finally got home and all that, and I was able, and Tree Parents saw that I had a new book. See, we already got a Zambit farm, so break that bad boy a bit. So when I finally got home and Tree Mom saw that, I was like, okay, son, what you get? As I said, I found this. I paid for it with my own money, too. And they were like, another dragon book, huh? And I was like, yeah. It looks, from what I've read so far, it seems pretty interesting. And I let her read the back cover blurb. I was like, and she was like, yeah, this does seem a little interesting. Well, I hope you have fun enjoying reading it. And I did. How is it I just now noticed that I was on peaceful? I feel like a dum-dum. So this is obviously the burbling we've been hearing as we've been walking by last little bits now. But yeah, it's in its own way, it's an interesting series. That's right. There's can I make saddles now? Shows how much I've been paying attention. Shows how much I have been paying attention. Should be you, not the shovel. I actually saw one of the guys, and this has been like in the last 6 months. One of the guys that I've seen at the gym I go to was this is about 5, 6 months ago, whenever it was. He was actually reading the first Dune book. I think, as I recall, he said it was because of seeing the movie. And said, I remember when I was in school many, many moons ago that I went and checked Dune out from the library, the school library, and it's I remember it being a very dynamic book, and it's like, yeah, it's very very interesting read in its own way. And that's why I want to, like I said, I want to get reread the series. Like I said, I only ever originally read the first book back when I was at school. And so that's why I want to eventually pick up the Dune series. Here we are. We got that. That was a dumb maneuver. Why was I trying to ruin my life? I was being silly goose. Silly goose I was being. So yeah, after stream, I will go pull up my my screenshots of this world to go to see where I've got some spider spawners. I think there's one reasonably close to base, somewhere near the mine shaft, where we come down. I think. So I do not fully remember. Because we've been working on this world 3 years. You know, if things were better, we'd probably be at that point to where we'd be starting with once 122 drops. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Or once 122 drops, we'd start a new world. But I'm not going to do that. Probably won't. Oh, hello. Probably won't be till 123 or probably 124, honestly, that we'll start a new world. That's all right. That's all right. It's in this case that, you know, as much as, you know, I wish I had the time and the money to be able to do. Oh, hello. Where I wish I could do, yeah. I hate when this happens. Excuse me, but it felt good. And I could be able to focus more on doing Minecraft stuff and all that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But in some ways, having a job actually, you know, is beneficial. Yeah, I'll take a look. See after stream is over, take a little bit of time and hopefully get to do some preliminary planning and scouting and all that. As to getting the spooder farm up and running. Hello, Irons. of copper right there. Break you down into residual copper ingots. Copper ingots. Raw copper. Should be an, as I recall, there is an, at least if not one, probably several, nearer spawners that we can tap into for a spooder farm. And that'll be our thing starting later today, Monday. At least Monday, Treelandia time. Get a spooder farm going. We at least got some stuff going, guys. That'll be good enough. Let's go ahead and mark this side gallery off. And we're about to end stream. Not sure who, if anyone, is live. If we just have to end stream, that will be our thing. Alright, let me see who, if anyone, is live. So, let's see. It's just stand by for now, guys. Let's see here. Not sure who, if anyone, is live. Yes. Not anybody is really live, so worth hooting about, so that at least follows. So there's one person, but they're far more famous than I, and it would be feel awkward kind of going in by myself. So, anywho, for those of you watching here on Twitch at twitch.tv/OsageOrange, please go ahead and remember to hit that follow button. If you're watching over on the YouTube, please remember to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications. It really does help. Hope to catch you guys later today, Monday, for another episode of Midwestern Minecraft. Hopefully with a spooder farm, the start to a spooder farm. Then we'll also have some more Midwestern Minecraft on Thursday. Saturday will be another episode of City Building Saturdays in Pharaoh Cleopatra. Next Sunday, we will make our glorious, glorious return to Titan Quest, the Loot Grind, and all that jazz. So, yeah, I do appreciate everybody who's come out, and I hope to catch y'all in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.